Yes.
Sarah and Azon. Everyone.
Yes, I'm now in Hội An.
Managing in all the rain.
Yes, the rainy season starts.
Okay, let's see. Achan is there. Here is John.
Yes, hello everybody.
Hello, John. Are you there, Achan?
Yes สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Achan.
ท่านอาจารย์สวัสดีครับ
Hello everyone.
Dạ, con xin hỏi cả nhà mình có đăng ký đặt câu hỏi nào không ạ? Trong lúc chưa có ai có câu hỏi thì con sẽ hỏi một câu liên quan đến cái buổi pháp đàm hôm qua bằng tiếng Anh. Thì buổi pháp đàm trong đó có nói về ba la mật và con thấy rất là hay. Và trong đó có nhấn mạnh là thực ra không cần phải nghĩ đến việc phát triển các ba la mật, bởi vì là khi hiểu biết phát triển thì các ba la mật cũng sẽ phát triển. Và Achan cũng đã nói là các cái sự hiểu biết nó sẽ là cái nền tảng để làm duyên cho các loại thiện pháp mà không bị thúc đẩy bởi ý niệm về ngã. Thì con thấy là những cái điểm này đều là những điểm rất là hay để được nghe thêm. Thì con muốn xin Achan giảng thêm. Yes, dear Achan, John and Sarah. Yesterday we listened to the discussion in English, and the first topic was about the paramis, and it was stressed that there's no need to think in terms of developing paramis, because when understanding develops, the paramis are being developed. And Achan also said that with the understanding at foundation, even when there's no understanding, but it can condition all kinds of kusala, which are not motivated by the idea of self. I think this is something I would like to hear more, and I think the audience also. Thank you, Achan.
Is it now daily life or something different?
Hiện giờ đó có phải là cuộc sống không, hay đó là một cái gì đó khác biệt?
All conditions are there each moment, but we
Tất
don't
cả
talk
các
about
cái
it.
duyên đều ở đó, ở mỗi khoảnh khắc, nhưng mà chúng ta không nói về nó.
All conditions are there now from
Tất
moment to
cả các
moment.
duyên hiện giờ đều ở đó.
Just a
From
minute,
moment to
Tam.
moment.
I just want to check. Are you having simultaneous translation? Because we're hearing the Vietnamese.
Yes, and sorry, I forgot to turn off the mic.
Okay. So, okay. Just otherwise it may go on a long time. Okay. Please carry on, Ajahn.
Yes, we can talk about any condition because conditions are there each moment. And no matter what we are talking about, it's about condition too. For example, see, without condition, we just say simply, without condition, nothing can arise at all, even seeing right now. That's why, it means that there is condition for seeing to arise. Whatever we are talking about, there are conditions for that moment. So we learn to understand condition time to time when it's there to be known. For example, now, there must be the reality which experiences conditioned by Sahasatapajaya or Anantarapajaya, depending on what we are talking about at different aspects. To have firm confidence, whatever is there is conditioned. It's the understanding which gradually let go of something there, or I'll do, or it can be done, because it's there already. This is the most important key. It's there already. As long as right understanding is not understanding with awareness of the characteristic which is there already by condition, it just keep on flow up, go away from what is there right now. No attention to the reality which is there, because thinking about other things. Yes, please, Kun Jonathan.
Thank you, Ajahn. And I think this comes back to an understanding of what is meant by conditioned realities. It's the same in terms of whether we're talking about developing the paramis, developing understanding, or eradicating agusala. They are all things that happen by virtue of the right conditions being in place, not because we are attempting to achieve those things in some way or another. Because the key is the arising of panya, obviously, because it is panya which performs the function of eradicating defilements, and also it is panya which perfects the other kinds of kusala that we refer to as the perfections. And there are conditions for panyas arising, as we know, but those conditions don't include our wish to develop panya. And properly understood, it could not be that there should be focusing on, for example, developing the paramis or having lesser kusala in one's daily life. Those ideas are not consistent with the teaching on the conditioned nature of dhammas. So I think that's the key aspect to be understood here. Thank you, Ajahn.
I think on the particular point you referred to, Tam, that came up yesterday, as you mentioned, with understanding as foundation, it can be a condition for all kinds of kusala. It can be a condition for metta, for generosity, and so on. Because with more understanding, there is more appreciation of what is beneficial and letting go of the akusala which would otherwise arise. So it leads to all kinds of kusala, but the point was that it doesn't mean that whenever any kind of kusala arises, panya has to be with it at that moment. So understanding can condition more metta. The metta may arise with or without panya, but if it has been conditioned by understanding, it is still metta parami. So the paramis develop with understanding as the foundation, whether or not there is understanding at those moments when they arise. But without understanding having developed, without understanding as a foundation, when qualities like metta and dana arise, then it's not parami. So only when it is with understanding as the base or the foundation, or the condition for their arising. Was that the point you were referring to?
Yes, absolutely, Sarah. Thank you. I think it's very well said. And we read in the text that it mentions about the paramis as kusala, which are not polluted by ditthi, tanha, and lobha. Do you have any comment on this?
Well, even when metta arises, which hasn't been conditioned by understanding, like we know some people have accumulations for a lot of kindness, even though they have no interest in understanding the Dhamma, just naturally. And at those moments when the kusala arises, it's not polluted by ignorance or ditthi or lobha at those moments of arising. So any kusala, when it arises, is not polluted. It is pabasara. It is pure at those moments. But when the qualities develop as paramis, it is with understanding. And this is why we refer to the cultivation or the development of those kusala qualities different from when they are just natural accumulations.
Yes, I think that's a very subtle point.
Because someone may be naturally very kind, and then their friends may say, oh, this is madness to be so kind to people who are mean or nasty or this or that. And then the accumulations may change and there may be less kindness. But when there is firm understanding, firm confidence, no matter what anyone says, one knows it is beneficial. The friendliness, the kindness, the kusala of all kinds is beneficial and to be developed with understanding.
And if someone has accumulated metta, alobha, but if there's no development of understanding, there's no development of understanding.
That's right. It's just the natural accumulation for this time. So it is the understanding that leads to the firm development of kusala. And without understanding, how can one know what is kusala and what isn't anyway? All the trips to the temple, all the acts of making donations, it will all be taken for kusala. But as we know, kusala is just for a moment. Without understanding, it's all my kusala, and it's just about different situations.
Do you have any further comments on all those points, Achan?
Should we trace back or now, whether it's now parami or not? No need at all. Because someone may say, I'm better now, before when I haven't no understanding of the Dhamma at all. See, it's kind of, it has to be parami, no matter that person use the term or not knowing that how come better life than before hearing or understanding the teachings. See, but life changed because of understanding, and the one who doesn't have any understanding of Dhamma at all just do good. No point to have less clinging and ignorance at all. But the one who understands how great, enormous ignorance and attachment from moment to moment in the day, in life, many life years and years, can see the danger of having very strong akusala because it can condition more akusala, not conditioned to understand the truth at all. That's why seeing the danger of akusala, no matter what kind, no matter what level, depends on the moment of what is there to help without thinking that I help in order I can understand more. That's not parami, it's avijja and it is attachment. It's just like buying, not giving away things, but buying the result one like to have later and so on. That's why it has to be that deep understanding of the truth to understand more about the reality as not self, always Dhamma, Anatta, even its moment of anger or strong akusala, right understanding which has been accumulated can be conditioned to not forget that moment, that it can be realized or it can be known, that it's just that reality never arise before and gone instantly. All depends on understanding because understanding does not want to check, does not to have the understanding of how much of what level is there, but it's there. So very natural condition by understanding firm about reality. Even right now, is there enough confidence of Dhamma as not self? At moment of thinking about condition, at moment thinking about what is there and what is called, and whether it is Dhatu or Ayatana, no need at all, because right understanding understands, little by little. It is the way to know self or know I. It's the way to let go ignorance. Even it's not adverse, it's gradually, naturally, the moment of understanding it. And that is the only way to not follow the desire or attachment which is hidden to such and such moment, which is not the subtle letting go, attachment, ignorance, taking whatever is there as self as before. Even this is heard many, many times a day, a week, but it's not enough to not understand the truth of what is there at will or by any means, any subtle means of reality, which is not understanding. That's why I think the letting go is not just dwelling in wanting to understand this and that at all, but considering the truth of what is there, that it is not known, not enough understanding. But the truth is that what we heard, what is heard, is to have right understanding of it's just gone until it is that very moment, no matter what life or when it will be. And that is right understanding firm about no one and no I, no thing at all. Even is there, not falling away yet, but the development of understanding, it has to be arising and falling away, no matter it appears or not. Not yet, but beginning to have time or moment of understanding, gradually, little by little. That is the only way. Otherwise, expectation is there, lurking secretly, not known, on and on and on. And it has to be like this, on and on and on and on, uncountable moment, unpredictable, when it be strong enough, when it's sudden pop up aware of very natural reality like now. No choice. no selection. That is Dhamma and that is Anatta, the way it is. So very subtle. So the point is understanding the nature of what is there as it is. It's gone. When sati is there, it's gone. And sati is there. Being aware of that, not thinking about it has to be awareness only, which can understand the truth of that. That is thinking before it is conditioned to arise. But when it arises, it's so natural, unexpectedly. And that is the proof of understanding the anatterness, not by thinking, but by the moment it's there, just suddenly aware. But not enough, because the idea of something there, or it's me or I is there, until gradually all kinds of reality in a day begin to be known, gradually until no atta of anything at all, stage by stage. It takes quite patience to understand the truth. So the characteristic of patience begins unknowingly by the understanding of the parami of the the benefit of patience. See, no thought about it, but understand Dhamma, understand the benefits of all kinds of kusala is there as condition for daily life to begin to have condition to be kusala more than akusala. Patiently, when it faced with the very troubled situation, no need to say that now I'm developing parami impact. No need at all. Otherwise, thinking I am now developing parami is not parami. As parami, each one is jetasikas. Can any jetasika be known now? So why think about parami, whether it can be known or it's time to have such and such parami? Understand the truth, the nature of that is understanding the way it is parami. Before life can go on naturally with goodness, because of understanding is the main parami, condition the way it is, the other parami by conditions. To let go, even thinking about my parami. And this is the Viriya Rampakatha, the words of effort. Viriya, to keep on seeing the benefit of Panya and Parami. Without saying out Parami, is it not now Parami? Viriya Parami, Adidana Parami, Satya Parami. No need to say this is Satya and this is Adidana or that is such and such. And at that moment it's not Parami. Why count it? Why think about it as mine or someone or something? Even what is seen is no one and no thing at all. Is it begin now? Does it begin now? Or naturally, unexpectedly, some moment, very subtle and gone, unknown until the nature of that is known clearer and clearer. It means that parami develops too, because it's no one who can attain enlightenment. It has to be the function of the realities which are wholesome, stronger, stronger, and stronger. Unknowingly, when and how, because what will arise is not by expectation. One may think that it can condition this in such a moment, but in truth, it's not like that at all. So, the more understanding the subtlety of Dhammas, that is the only developed Panya, little by little. Because when it's not Panya, it cannot understand the subtlety of this moment or any moment as it is. Feeling is feeling, only feeling. See, beginning to consider it now, and who knows when will it be conditioned to understand feeling, no matter what kind, or by anothernness. Even one moment in the future cannot be known. The moment of awareness, the moment of vipassana, whatever is there by conditions. And right now, it's by condition. See, the beginning to understand condition has to be now too.
Vâng, thưa Achan thì như vậy khi mà chúng ta đọc ở trong cái kinh điển mà nói về thời gian Đức Bồ Tát phát triển các ba la mật, khi mà suy xét thấy là mình còn thiếu ba la mật hay là ba mật kia vẫn còn chưa đủ cái mức độ thù thắng, thì thực ra lúc đó là bởi vì cái mức độ trí tuệ của người đã hiểu rất là rõ, điều ấy được hiểu bởi trí tuệ. Còn nếu như chúng ta bây giờ mà cố để tìm cách biết mình là thiếu ba la mật nào, phát triển ba la mật nào, thì lúc đó lại bị dẫn dắt bởi ý niệm về ngã. Như vậy ạ. So Achan, when we read in the text about the Bodhisattvas, when he was developing the paramis, it says that the Bodhisattvas contemplate and then sees that he's lacking this or that paramis. For example, we read in the book about the Dana parami. But in his case, it is because of his understanding, which understands that a certain quality has not been fully developed. It's very different from our case. If we try to think like that, then it's led by the idea itself. Isn't it?
So, can we find the way by our own thought, like Bodhisattva, or listening to the teachings about the truth about parami, to understand, to consider the depth or the subtlety of Dhamma right now? this is the difference between the Buddha to be the Bodhisattva and those who do not have parami at level to become enlightened as Samma Sambuddha.
And another difference, Dhamma, would be the fact that the Bodhisattva has undertaken a vow to achieve supreme Buddhahood. So by virtue of that resolution, which has been confirmed, it is necessary that the paramis be developed to perfection, because for lay people, for others other than the Buddha, the paramis are not developed to perfection, which means to the greatest extent possible. They're only developed and they are necessary support for the development of the path, but the extent to which they are developed will vary depending on the individual. And so it's not necessary that the other person, other than the Buddha, get to the stage of perfection of each of the so-called perfections, which are just, in fact, kinds of kusala.
Hình như là em Tâm có câu hỏi đúng không? Em Tâm tự nói câu hỏi của mình.
I think we're so used to thinking of the idea of I or someone or this one or that one, developing goodness, developing understanding, developing paramis. So when we read about the Bodhisattva, we instantly think of someone doing something, someone developing the paramis, because not firm enough understanding that actually is just talking about different dhammas and the development of kusala, not of someone. That's why without firm understanding, whatever we read is read in the wrong way. It's read about someone and someone's development and someone's enlightenment instead of about different dhammas.
Yes, can I have a question, please?
Go ahead, Tiny Tam.
Con xin được hỏi về phóng dật ạ. Bởi vì hiện giờ con đang thấy có sự không tập trung, bối rối, rồi một chút lo lắng. Can I have a questions about restlessness or uddhacca cetasika? Because for me now, it is like I cannot focus. I feel distracted and a bit anxiety.
Actually, you've answered your own question, so one can see that uddhacca arises with every moment of a kusala. So whenever there is clinging of any kind, whenever there's any kind of dosa, no matter anxiety or distraction, and whenever there is any kind of ignorance, uddhacca is there, disturbance is there, no calm at those moments. Whereas at moments of kindness, moments of generosity, moments of understanding that we were talking about, at those moments, there is calmness, but it's just for a moment, just at that moment of kindness. And then as soon as there is the usual thinking about oneself or thinking about other topics or disturbance of any kind, Udacha is there. So actually, udacha is very, very common. Most of the day, it's there. Even the slightest loba udacha is there. The unknown ignorance udacha is there. The slightest bit of unpleasant feeling with dosa udacha is there. But they're just conditioned dharmas. It's not my restlessness or anxiety or bad habit. They're just different dharmas that arise by conditions and fall away instantly. Otherwise, when there is clinging to I and my problem and my akusala, it's just accumulating more and more akusala. So it is the understanding which gradually lets go of the idea of I. And if one thinks one would like to try to get rid of the anxiety and the disturbance, that's just more I, more thinking I should do something, not understanding of dharmas that are conditioned. And those moments of disturbance or restlessness, it's just for a moment and then gone. And then moments of reflecting on what is heard, like now, no disturbance. And it's like that, everyone, conditioned that way, because so much akusala in a day, even now, while listening to the Dhamma, thinking of other things, restless, disturbed, moments of anxiety. So common, all conditioned dharmas. So just like the panya and the goodness and the paramis don't belong to anyone, it's the same with the akusala too. Usually we find these things so important, but they're just passing dharma of no significance at all, each one gone instantly. And actually, as we know, there is focus at each moment. Ekagata cetasika arises with each citta, focusing on its object. Manasikara attends to an object at each moment. Sanya marks an object at each moment. But when we say, oh, I can't focus, it just means it's not the focusing on the object we would like it to be, that's all. So the clinging is there, the strong clinging, wishing it to be another way. It's like when people say, oh, I can't remember this and that, and oh, my memory is so bad. Actually, Sanya is marking at every moment, but the same. It's not marking on remembering what we would like it to mark and remember. Forgets the names, it forgets the details. So again, it's the clinging that would like it to be another way. But the memory, the focusing, the attention is just the way it's conditioned to be at this moment and then gone. None of them belonging to you or me.
I think that is a very common idea that people think that when about different topics, then the chat is good. But actually, when it seems to be very relaxed and focused, actually it's akusala, uttacha is there too, but it's not easy to know.
Like when it seems to be good focusing, like focusing on cooking very beautifully or focusing on one's computer work, or most of the time it's with loba. Most of the time udacha is there. But because it's with loba, one doesn't mind. But when it's with anxiety or distraction, it's unpleasant. So then one minds about the utaksha. It's so insignificant, so let it go. Don't make what is insignificant significant, because they're just passing dhammas, all gone. Perhaps Jan or Jonathan would like to add more on this topic too.
When there's a kusala tendency manifesting, then we wish we knew more about it, because basically we'd like to have less of it. But this is not the development of the path taught by the Buddha. Just understand the nature of any reality at any time. The development of the path doesn't mean no more restlessness.
Because restlessness is only eradicated by the arahantship.
I think my connection got a bit interrupted there. I'm not sure how much came through or how much was lost, but
we just heard the beginning,
I
a
see.
few sentences, and then we lost you.
Shall I just briefly repeat then that the idea of studying a particular kusala tendency because it's prevalent, it's manifesting, that is not the development of the path. The path is about understanding the true nature of any reality that appears at the present moment. And when the path is being developed, it doesn't mean that there'll be less restlessness in one's life, because the tendency has been accumulated, so it will keep manifesting. And all kinds of kusala can continue to arise from time to time until they're eradicated at one of the stages of enlightenment. So should we not appreciate that that's the way it is, and not worry about trying to have less of this kind of a kusala, this or that kind of a kusala? Thank you.
Okay, John, do you have any comment on the topic of restlessness, Achan?
Is it not there now? But it
Yes,
cannot be known. Why not? It does not appear. No matter how many things are there at that very moment, only the one which appears can be known. No matter we talk about feeling, now does it appear? Can it be known when it does not appear? Even feeling does not appear when it does, even feeling is not known because it does not appear. Even Uttacca is there not known because it does not appear. Is that true? For everything. That's all. Until it appears, not at will. So any kind of Dhamma, which is real, which is there, depending on whether it appears to be known or not. So we know each akusala moment, no understanding, so quickly from seeing to ignorance or attachment. at moment of experience an object, see, so quickly what appears, only that which appears can be known. That's why we talk about understanding what is there in the moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking. Only 6 doorways. Even what is there at moment of the eye door, but it depends on what appears. Phassa appears, or sanya appears, or at moment of akusala, what appears? Utthaja, does it appear? Shall we try to know it when it is there but does not appear at all? But when it appears, is there any understanding of it? See? For example, ignorance now. No understanding of seeing. Seeing is there, and after seeing, there are jittas until ignorance, no understanding of seeing. But ignorance, does it appear or not? If it does not appear, even it's there, it's not known. Now, after seeing, there is akusala citta. What kind of reality is there appearing to be known? Depending on conditions, not by anyone's expectation at all. So the understanding that there is a reality which is utthaja, restlessness. What does it mean? It just no understanding. So can it be restful or restless? See, when there's no understanding. Understanding what is meant by restlessness or restless at all. It cannot understand. So it's unhappy or no good or whatever is there, it has to be that kind of reality. Restless, who knows? Because at moment of akusla, there is restlessness because it's not calm. When it's kusla, it cannot be restless, but it goes around with attachment and ignorance, not understanding the truth. And that's the characteristic of a reality which is restless. The moment of understanding the differences between kusala and akusla can condition the understanding when there is considering about the difference between kusala and akusala. So the restlessness can be realized or can be object of thought at just attending to the characteristic of a reality which is there. At moment of anger, it is restlessness, not in peace at all. Just learn to understand the nature of reality which is there, but does not appear yet, in order to understand it when it appears. We talk about avijja, ignorance. It's there each moment of akusala. Does anyone experience ignorance at moment when it's there only moment, only a reality? What can be known is only one reality at a time. So does ignorance appear or not appear yet? But doubt is there while ignorance is there together. Otherwise there cannot be doubt, and restlessness is there too. That's why we learn to understand closely the difference between kusala and akusala realities. Until it appears, there are enough understanding to recognize it, to understand that it's a reality that we have heard, that it's there as it is. But if there is expectation, wanting to understanding it while it does not appear, it's impossible. for any understanding to understand that which does not appear. So no expectation with akusala, what kind of reality, what kind of akusala cetasika is there to be known only by conditions, to let go ignorance and attachment to that which is not known as something. For now, what is seen, no understanding, is it ignorance? Does ignorance appear to be known? Or is there no understanding of the nature of seeing or the nature of that which is seen in order to, when it's there, to understand it only? Otherwise, it cannot appear. So now there is some understanding of ignorance and uddhacca, restlessness. But it does not appear yet. So when it appears, no doubt about whether it is ignorance or restlessness, see? Because there are conditions, hearing about it, begin to be attent to understand it little by little, no wish to have more, but all depends on condition. With their condition to consider it, it's their condition, it's their attended. When there are conditions for direct awareness, it's there instantly of the object that we have known before, so that it can be known. But when there's no understanding of restlessness or ignorance at all, even it's there now, after seeing it's not known. Restlessness is there too, but when they do not appear, how can anything be known? Just learn to understand, to let go expectation for this and that to be realized, to be object of understanding, because all depends on conditions. Even right now, it's there. No thought about it, that it's by condition. No expectation to have such and such moment now at all. And that is the only way to understand whatever is there when it appears only. So now what appears? No understanding. What is that? Ignorance, uddhacca, restlessness. But it does not appear to understanding. But when it appears to ignorance, no understanding, that is that which we have talked about. So, and listening to the teachings, considering the truth, is the only way to let go attachment and ignorance to that which appears no matter at what moment, even right now. Is that right? Patient, understanding how subtle it is, condition, patient, parami. The urgent try so hard to realize anything at all, because it's wrong, it's not possible, it's only dreaming. Is there anyone dreaming now? More delicate than just daydream.
Yes, we are dreaming now, Achan.
And the word of the teaching, just waking, try to wake up. Depending on whether it's wake up now or not yet.
And usually when we think about being distracted and restless and anxious, actually it's just daydreaming, because usually it's just thinking in a conventional way. Oh, I'm so distracted, I forgot my keys when I went out, and or I'm having trouble focusing on the discussion, so I'm looking for other things to do or attend to, but it's not actually understanding of the dhammas that arise for a moment and gone. We just think about the conventional story about not focusing or being distracted, so different from understanding the Dhamma as anatta, just arising for a moment with akusala and then gone. It seems obvious, it seems we know what restlessness is and focus is, but it's really just our usual way of thinking about these tendencies, taking them for mine or someone else's. It's not actually understanding of dhammas. Someone may have habits that conventionally we would say are very distracted or unfocused, but actually develop strong understanding, like the lady who burnt the curry and became enlightened, for example. Conventionally, it may seem very distracted, but when it comes to understanding of dhammas, any habit, any tendencies can be known.
Good news, Sarah. And, yeah, like you already said, that when there's more understanding, no minding about people are, because they just passing dhammas anyway.
Just passing dhammas of no significance at all.
At any moment of akusala, apart from ignorance and restlessness, there's also hirika and anotapa that they
Right.
don't hear.
You don't care. And when there's taking it all and dwelling on it as my bad tendencies, my disturbance, my distraction, my restlessness, it's just adding fuel to the fire, more and more akusala, because of clinging to I. So it's the understanding that works its way, understand that these are just dhammas that pass. When there is wishing for it to be another way, wishing to be less distracted, less restless, and so on, it's just more and more clinging. But good to know. And we think it's just my problem, but it's same for any akusala that arises anytime, common to all.
On the other hand, Ajahn also usually stress that when there's more understanding, there's more conditions for kusala, more
Yes,
kusala.
it works its way with
Yeah,
patience, not
so
by trying or wishing or thinking it should be another way.
because it's very gradual.
Exactly.
Some people might find that it's a kind of conflict, because on the one hand we say that because when there's understanding, there's no melting of akusala, when akusala cannot be worn away very quickly. But on the other hand, we say that it should condition more kusala.
Right. Gradually, it works its way.
I would say another point is why there's no conflict, because they are not the same thing. Developing more kusala is not the same as eradicating akusala. There can be the development of kusala even without having come across the Buddha's teaching. People can develop kusala, mundane kusala, to very, very high degrees. But there's no eradication of akusala for those people because they have not developed insight at that time. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, John.
So in the case of the development of insight, it's sort of the opposite is happening. The akusala is being gradually eroded ever so slightly, and the kusala that is there is being perfected, or not, that's not the right word, is being refined. But neither of these things means that the tendency for to get angry or restless or attachment is markedly less necessarily.
Bởi vì
And
tích
the
điểm của
nature,
chúng ta thì rất là khác nhau, cho nên là không thể đưa ra một cái khuôn mẫu mà ta nghĩ rằng là tăng thêm thiện pháp có nghĩa là phải như thế này, phải như thế kia, thì tự ta sẽ như vậy, đó là một cái hiểu sai. And also because the accumulations between different people are so different. So if one thinks that, okay, more kusala means it has to be like this or that, then we are on the wrong way.
and also the
Yes.
understanding develops, the akusala is revealed as more and more apparent. Actually, it's always been there, but it's more apparent. It doesn't mean there's more akusala. It just means it's more apparent. It's understood more and more. So more and more ignorance is revealed, more and more clinging is revealed, and so on.
Chan, at moment of akusala, there's also anotapa and ahirika. But I think if we don't hear about the Buddha's teaching, maybe we know nothing about those realities. Do you have any comment?
There are different ways of Dhamma to be sadhu, kusala, or the nature of it. For example, when one think about not doing this, which is harmful, it depends on because of attachment to oneself, not to be harmed or what. But seeing the danger, the ugliness, the nastiness of that which is there, ugly, not wholesome, not beautiful at all. It is there by condition, depending on whether based on understanding or not. That's why the moment of understanding the truth, no expectation whether it would be conditioned not to do any akusala at all, little by little. But it's just understanding. Nothing can be done. That's the way it is. Because each person has accumulated so enormous akusala in different manners, different degrees. So when it's conditioned to be there, what about the strength of understanding? See, still the I is there, shows up. It's so ugly or I'm not good at all. Is that the Hiri and Otapa as Parami or not self, letting go, Nekama. That's why we have to understand the intricate of all kinds of reality. It's beyond expectation from life to life. How long? Years and years ago. It conditioned this moment, unknown what is there lurking at all, the akusa and so on. That's why just understand and know that it's not I either which understand. It's a reality conditioned to begin to see the truth of what is there a little more because the truth is so very deep, very subtle, hidden all the time, unknown. So the word of truth is conditioned to consider it a little more carefully so that it can be known a little more as it is. So very subtle. That's why no expectation to gain anything. But the point is without hearing, considering, there cannot be the understanding of the reality which is there. So it's better to understand what is there or not understanding it all. Be blind in life, no matter seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, whatever is there. Or just learn to understand. Even the truth is so very profound, very difficult to understand, but it can be learned little by little. And that's the point of now. We just talk about what is there. For that which understand, even so very little, but it condition a little more firm understanding or firm patience or firm truth, be true to the truth, be truthful, that life is this. And Panya, depending on whether it says that it shouldn't be like this anymore. That's why it understand the way to have less by hearing, considering about what is there now appearing to condition moment of unknown moment development. So gradually begin to think about it, attending a little more until time comes when condition is there. And that is the step of beginning to let go that it cannot be done, but there must be condition for it. So it depends on the condition to understand it more or less. That's all. Patience, great patience to understand even just a little. But it's so true, not wrong way, not wrong thought, not wrong idea about this is not the path. I have to do something patiently. That is thinking. And what is there? What measure of reality is there? That's why only hearing, considering, understanding, firmer and firmer, little by little. Years and years ago, like our disciple who had enlightened, the same way, one way, without parami, it's impossible to understand what is there as those who have realized the truth, even now or anywhere, anytime. The truth is the truth. So now, so pleasant, joyful. One day, understanding will develop until unexpectedly by conditions like now. What is there? Its condition. And what condition? Years and years ago, moment to moment, up till now, to be this moment. So it's up to each moment of understanding, develop gradually, unexpectedly. It's there. That's the certain understanding, firm confidence of anatta, for sure. So understand it this moment as well. It's just like that. But it's not the moment of what is there appearing as a reality only to be known. But without this moment, without very patient, virya and on, there's no condition to be that moment at all. But now, understanding patiently, knowing what is there arising and falling away, is covered up by ignorance and the rapidity of the succession from moment to moment. No understanding of the moment when only one reality appearing until the nimitta of that reality appears, rising and falling away. One reality only at a time by conditions. What one is not there now. It hasn't arisen yet. Nobody knows the moment when it hasn't come yet. And this is the Virya Katha, the words of Virya. And it is Virya Parami, and it is Indriya, as there are conditions to hear. Let's hear, let's consider. Understanding the benefit of listening, condition, understanding, little by little. It's parami, conditioned to hear again, listen again, attending again, all by conditions. And that is the right way, the only way to let go. The very subtle attachment to the idea of self. No other way at all. So nothing to be done because each moment is conditioned. Until then, right understanding is stronger. Not enough until it can experience the truth at any moment by condition. So now there can be moment of understanding what is there. Smiling or what is there to be known. Stage by stage until instantly it's aware of that reality. Because everyone smiles, but what is there? Smiling, feeling, thinking, depend on what is object of understanding or not. When it appears, whether it is understood or it's not yet understood, Dhamma is there in life to be known. When there's right understanding, it can be known, little by little. And that's the path. Because what is there is real Dhamma, not anyone. Just in split seconds, so very short, gone. And what about the next one? Is it attended or not yet? Understanding how deep it is, the teachings of the Buddha, to realize the truth, the ultimate truth, the nature of that which is there, so short. Until understanding begins to understand the subtlety of Dhamma, of the path, and that is the way to not follow ignorance and attachment, to think differently, which is not true, which is not real, which is not kusala. In a day, so very quickly, conditions for akusala is so very fast, always instant. Nothing can be known in a dream.
Now, Achan, we are dreaming
Yes,
about what is seen, what is heard, and taken what is seen, what is heard to be something or someone, not knowing the truth.
until wake up, see, and then fall asleep again, wake up again, fall asleep again, little by little.
So when we listen to the Dhamma and there's some understanding, there's waking up, but it's very short, and then we are dreaming again.
That's why
So,
understand what it's meant by Khanti Parami. And can anyone wake up at will?
cannot, Ajahn.
That's why no matter what, it's all by conditions. wake up by conditions, fall asleep by conditions. This is the understanding a little more of anatthaness.
And so why mind about it? Why mind that there's more sleeping than waking up? Or why mind it's not the way that would be wholesome all the time and so on? Because it just has to be the way it is by conditions. If there's restlessness and anxiety and disturbance now, it's by conditions. So it has to be that way. Can't be any other way. So that there's no point in minding about it or thinking it should be different or like someone else's tendencies or something, because that is just all I clinging on, making it more difficult, hindering the path of understanding. But even that is conditioned and can be understood.
Is it sweet dream now? Or what kind of dream?
Nightmare, Ajahn.
No, it's a moment of dreaming about hearing the truth, about what is there, not yet understand the truth. So what is taken is just like a dream.
Why are you saying that this is nightmare now, Phantom? Tại sao Thanh Tâm lại nói là bây giờ đang là giấc ác là cơn ác mộng?
Why do we say dream again? Because what is taken as something is not there anymore.
And I have some sympathy with what Tiny Tam says, because even now during the Dhamma discussion, they're not just sweet dreams about seeing and hearing and about different Dhammas. In between, there are moments of, like Tiny Tam said, anxiety about this or that, or being disturbed about something, or thinking about what will happen afterwards. So it's just common daily life, different kinds of dreams, sweet and not sweet, reflections about thinking about the Dhamma, but thinking about many other topics, all conditioned. No one can change it, it's just how it is. But understanding can slip in any time, and one can laugh about it because no one there to change it or do anything. Even in the middle of translating a sentence, there can be a nightmare or a anxiety or disturbance anytime. But there can also be moments of metta, moments of understanding at those times too. No one knows about the next moment, kusala or akusala, sweet dream or nightmare, whatever arises is by conditions. So don't take it too seriously because it's just conditioned and it's just for a moment and gone.
for the Sotapanna and Anagami, until Anagami, they still dream to a certain point, right? Or
Yes,
at
and not just sweet, pleasant dreams either. There can also be anxious dreams and disturbance and worries until an anagami. Yes, just no wrong view.
but somehow they know that they're dreaming, right? Because they don't have wrong view anymore.
They know that it's not their dream or anyone's dream or anyone's akusala, that they're just dhammas, firm confidence that they are just dhammas. No slipping to the wrong path with the ideas of changing it or stopping it or making it different. And that is what is most disturbing, when there are ideas that I should change it or control it or stop this restlessness in some way or something. So just let it be whatever comes in life, whatever arises by conditions, and let understanding develop to understand no self, just different dhammas.
I'm not sure if I can say. I think that a sweet dream is like, of course, it must be dreaming with attachment and pleasant feeling, and I think kusala is not. It's getting closer to waking up, even if it's without understanding, because it's kusala. It's not. It's with sati. It's not like. It's not a sweet dreaming anymore. That moment is getting closer to waking up, like just before awakening, like when there is an understanding, it's the moment of waking up. But it's even without understanding, it's not like being asleep, even if it's just kusala. That's my idea, because of sweet dreams and bad dreams. Sounds more like ignorance with attachment and ignorance with aversion. But both are kusala. Both dreams and bad dreams and sweet dreams. My idea.
We continue to dream. Thank you so much, Achan and John and Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ajahn. Sawadee Kaptan Ajahn.
Sawadee Ka.
Thank you, Tambak and Anitam.